No wonder the plants in these tanks do so well.
From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh ha ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh ha ha!
Enough with the sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh, but.
What's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn, and it is a beautiful day outside. And you know how I am. I love the great outdoors, and what better time than to start looking at the container pond. That's right, the 70-gallon tub, which I elected to leave intact over the winter to see how everything did inside the tub. And we got a lot of plant growth starting to bloom up here. I'm going to be cleaning it out and trying to get some of the surface stuff out of the water just to give it a nice clean start. As you can see, there is a lot of mold on the bottom of the tank. I'm going to probably remove a little bit of it, because mold is really a good thing for snails and bottom dwelling fish, especially if you have fish like killies and things that like to nest up and lay eggs in those little tons of mold. And I got my little artificial grass spot here, which actually has a lot of soft algae on it. And I also put some of these floaters out here that I had inside. I have a bunch of these floating plants in my tanks inside, which are actually really overgrown. Look at that, there's a lot of algae in here. So the tank has got off to a good start. As you can see, everything is blooming. I've already done my spring cleanup of the garden, and everything is starting to grow. I do need to work on the greenhouse, because the greenhouse has seen better days. That plastic does not winter well. So let me get started by getting my little hook here, getting that in place. That's my little hook. For you guys that have subscribed and asked a lot of questions about how I keep the tub intact, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Basically, this is a framed top with chicken wire. I tried just using screen, but I get cats and squirrels and God knows whatever. Even had possums in here a few times, which is I always got to watch my feet and make sure I don't get surprised down here. But I did clean up the bed. You can see a sure sign that there are cats in here. Probably the neighborhood cats been here scruffing around and digging. When you see these things like this, usually squirrels and things looking for bulbs, but this is why it's really good to have a top on your system. And another thing I do have on the system, since it is always outside and rain is a natural part of the world, nature, I have an overflow. My overflow is right here, and I capture the water in these buckets here. Let me move some of this stuff so you can see. A heavy glass, because once again, animals, and I don't know what is doing this. If you know what does that, send it in the comments below. I don't know if it's ants, but I get something that burrows in the wood and leaves that. It's not termites. I thought that the first time, but I capture the water with the overflow, and I use this water after I sift through it a few times with my strainer and some filter floss to do my top offs in the killie tanks upstairs. So waste not, want not. Try not to waste anything, but if you're going to do this, be prepared to have an overflow, because water will flow over, and you don't want it flowing over the top, because your fish end up going free range like chicken run. They'll be running. I can see this is coming back. Kabamba's coming back, and really healthy. Once again, you got a little algae growing in here. That's the only downside to leaving the tub running over the winter. If you take it down in the winter, empty out, turn it over, then you can move your plants from, ooh, this water is cold, cold, cold. So it won't be any fish going in here for a while. But you can start fresh, where you're not going to have the algae blooms and things like that. But I wanted to do this year a little bit different. You know how I am. And if you don't know how I am, that's because you're not a subscriber. Click that subscribe button and check out the old videos. These tubs that I've done outside the last couple of years have gone through quite the metamorphosis because every year I learn something different. So this year I'm going to leave everything. I'm going to take out some of the mold. I want to take out some of the mold because it is a lot. The mold does affect the KH and water chemistry. It actually helps immensely with the water quality. As you can see, I already have snails in here. This water has got to be in the 40s. If it ain't one thing I know for a fact, this water is ice cold. And we already got snails. Look at this guy over here. He's moving around. Got quite a few snails in there, so that's a good thing. Life finds a way, and they are all over the place. I have all of my decorations. Well, not decorations, but my stone and tank decor and stuff that I use. Floating boxes, specimen containers, branches. Once I get it ready for the restart, I'll add this stuff back into the tank. I got a lot of rocks in here, half flower pots. But this is how I go through this every year. So the weather's starting to get a little bit warmer now. We'll be able to get this baby up and running. Surefire way to know when it's coming into maturity is the grapevine is sending out leaves. Leaf mean cover. Cover means temperature moderation, so it won't be blazing hot. If you do a container pond outside, you don't want it in direct sunlight for two reasons. A, algae growth, and B, the temperature is going to skyrocket in the daytime and drop immensely at night. So you don't want to put it in direct light. That's another reason why I don't use glass, which I have tried. I have glass in my little stuff storage area. Glass heats up very quick and cools very quick. It does not hold temperature very well. A lot of algae in here. But once again, if you get plant eating fish, like various mollies I may put outside, the freshwater ones, they love this stuff, but you don't want it to grow out of control because you don't want it to grow over your plant. So I will remove quite a bit, clean it up, sift through this, keep the plants clean. Most of them are pretty good because I have gone through the tub already and removed a lot. But you see that string algae can be a nuisance. That's actually the stuff that the fish love to eat based on what I've seen. That will probably, once the water temperatures get more into the 60s, the high 60s, not even the 70s, but the high 60s, I'll think about putting everything back outside and redoing the top, because the top is seen about 2 years now. If I'm not mistaken, 3 years, maybe 3 years. Chicken wire is good, but you can see the wood is seeing better days. The outside frame is good, but the center supports are shot from the animals jumping on it and tend to make it break, as you can see here. You know, look at that, that's rotted. Use some better grade. I probably won't, look probably for an alternative. I'm not going to use pressure treated wood because I don't want the chemical from the pressure treated wood running into the water when it rains. So of course things like this you have to redo after a year or so. So basically I take the hardware off like this, which is easy enough, and I'll do another one by one, frame it out, put it back into place, boom boom boom, off to the races. But if you don't have a screen top, you're just going to get everything. Look at all the weed seeds. The birds sit on top of this perch all the time. They crap over here. Easily I can lift this up, hose it off, and clean it and everything. So it works out pretty well. And yeah, before we wrap it up with that, so you can see this is a 70-gallon horse trough, actually. If you can see the name there, it's made by Bellin Country. Bought it from my buddies over on the other side of Brooklyn that were using it for a hydroponics project. Thank you, fellas. Doing good. 2-3 years in now. Gonna go over to the greenhouse where I'm starting my vegetables and things to show you the white cloud tub. The white cloud tub has not been touched in 8 months, 6 months really. Everything is back to life in here. Not even that, you don't get that algae like you do in the other container pond, because this one is all enclosed in the greenhouse. Only problem with the greenhouse, wintering up, if you buy one of these greenhouses, I ordered it online, it's plastic, it's sealed up, the plastic degrades because of being exposed to the heat and cold all year. So basically all of this, the wind is blowing through. Basically the top, forget about it, water comes right through the top. The sides are good because the sides aren't exposed to the direct sunlight. You can see the plastic still on the sides. There's a little wear, but for you guys that are looking to do things like this on your own, just be advised that either you're gonna have to replace the shell, or what I'm gonna do is probably come up with a new frame. I'll just get the plastic. I'll get the plastic from the hardware store, which is a little bit heavier, and run it either over it or under it, and just do a little remodel to the greenhouse here. But for the most part, the greenhouse has been quite the little spot for storing everything outside. I have my Rotala tank here, which they'll probably be waking up soon. And what the heck is this? Fell in here. A piece of plastic fell in. I don't know where that came from. But you can see the Rotala sits up here. This 10-gallon tank is tough as hell. It sits with water, frozen solid in the wintertime. And thaw it out, you can see the Rotala waking up. I believe this is Rendicia. But it's growing back, leaf growth. Come on, I can't grow Rotala inside with all the fancy LEDs and lights and all that, but it grows out here wild. Isn't that something? I got oregano growing in here. Good thing about, oh, that smells great. Good thing about the greenhouse is the animals don't come in, so I don't have to worry about them screwing around with this stuff here. I got some lettuce over here. I just stir up, make sure there's no weeds in there coming up with the lettuce. Basil. I got my sedum here, so what I call silver dollar sedum. Rosemary is awesome. I love rosemary. For you guys in pandemic mode, you know we got to wear these masks. Rub your mask on rosemary. Oh man, it's the awesomest stuff you can smell. This is a weed growing up in here on the DL, so I'm gonna yank that out a little later. I ain't gonna pull it because I want to get the whole root. But yeah, the greenhouse is doing really good. Here's some lemon balm here. That is a perennial, come right back. Didn't replant that. That's coming back from last year. But the most troublesome thing here before I wrap it up is this. This bad boy split. I had to put my as seen on TV tape on here, and it is keeping the water in. So shout out to that super seal and waterproof tape, because if you buy these containers from Lowe's, Home Depot, they become brittle in the cold. You see how brittle that is? I could just snap it with my hands. So you got to get a really heavy grade container. So I'll be replacing this. It's going to be a real pain in the tuchus because I believe there's fish still in there. I've been seeing them come back the last couple of years, so I'm not going to disturb them now, but I'm probably just going to buy a new container, a little heavier grade that'll fit in here, and do a little switch over. These containers just don't cut it. You can see that split all the way down just from the expansion and contraction. Wow, that one split too. I didn't even notice that. That one split too. So you're better off with those farming tubs and the troughs and things like that, because you know they're not going to split. But I'll leave you guys with that. Just give me an update. Beautiful day out here in the garden. The sun is shining. Gonna take this time to clean up these tubs out here. Click that thumbs up, click the like. I think I'm gonna head over to the beach to do some collection now for my natural species tanks. And hopefully I see you guys on the other side. Love, peace, and hair grease. This is D from Brooklyn. I'm out.